a brief history of the El Toro Air Show from 1950 to 1997, showing at the Great Park Gallery.
And it celebrates the air shows that used to happen on this marine base. They were some of the biggest air shows in the world, with the last one having upwards to about 2 million visitors. On display, we have a series of graphic designs by the artist Paul Gavin, who designed all of the El Toro Air Show posters and all of the promotional material.
Including t-shirts his wife Kimberly, who's a graphic artist, designed based on his poster image. Each year, Paul Gavin captured a moment in time.
And there are minutes, there are incidents that happen. One is the 50 years of El Toro, one was the 50th anniversary of Iwo Jima, and one is when they're leaving. But trying to show in a painting, symbolically, it moved from specific realism to symbols of what are happening.
Paul grew up with a love of aviation. His father was a pilot and has always had a respect for the military.
They do what they do, so I can do what I can do. I've got to be the best because, and do it for them, but do it for me, because I have the opportunity to be free, to be an artist.
Kimberly shares a love of aviation. She says she draws planes for a living, and she's a flight attendant on the weekends for fun.
It's just fabulous to see all this artwork on the wall together. We've never, in our own home or gallery, have never seen all the paintings together. So this is really special to see them all in one place and to read the history.
Another feature wall showcases historical photographs taken by George Katzenberger, who attended the air shows throughout the 80s and 90s.
I like the fact that it can look like a cartoon. I don't care for the flying pictures because that's more like a sports photographer. And, you know, it's really hard to get a good shot of that stuff. It's not my job. This isn't a job either. It's art, you know, and that's what I'm after, is trying to create something, a look that nobody's seen before.
George tells us he was using a 20mm wide-angle lens on Kodachrome 64 to capture these images. Jackie Gonzalez brought her parents to the museum for an outing and shares with us her impressions.
Definitely, I love all these airplanes, and I think that was my favorite over there. It's the sound of freedom, and also there's a sound of teamwork, and there's a lot more, but for sure those two like popped up for me. And thank you for George Katzenberger. He actually have his own artwork here too, and we got to connect with him, so that was great.
There is also a mural made by an artist group called the Draculas, made specifically for this show.
We wanted to have something that was created recently, something contemporary, because a lot of the work we're showing was completed throughout the 80s and 90s. And so this piece is kind of a celebration of the whole exhibition and the history of the base as well.
Another wall highlights key events happening on the base with photos to match on the other side. Visit ocgp.org for more information. For Irvine Scene, I'm Jacqueline Twegg.